Under a shattered sky, the silence of Earth was violently torn apart by the roar of approaching doom. As if summoned from the void of nightmares, colossal alien warships sliced through the heavens, scattering starlight like shards of broken glass. In the nerve center of humanity's final stand, Commander Orion Steele felt his heart pound with fierce resolve and raw, unyielding dread. Memories of lost battles and personal sacrifice surged within him. This was not merely an attack, it was the end of everything he had fought for. In that fateful moment, the world changed forever. Across the globe, terrified citizens gazed upward as the alien armada materialized in Earth's orbit, its silhouette an ominous promise of annihilation. In the sprawling command center deep beneath a fortified military complex, Orion Steele stood before a wall of holographic screens, each pulsating with data and live images of chaos unfolding over major cities. The room was a symphony of urgent beeps and whispered commands, its air thick with tension and the metallic tang of adrenaline. Steele's steely eyes scanned the rapidly updating displays. Every sensor reading confirmed the unthinkable. The Zertal Armada had arrived, and with it a barrage of high-energy weapons that rocked the very foundation of Earth's defenses. His mind raced through a litany of tactical responses honed over decades of service, yet nothing could have prepared him for the raw spectacle of interstellar invasion. The sight of blazing energy bolts ripping through the night, incandescent against the shattered remnants of a familiar sky, forced him to confront the harsh reality that Earth was under siege. Around him his officers worked with synchronized precision. Lieutenant Marisol Vega, her voice steady despite the fear that gripped her heart, reported the first casualty, a major communications hub crumbling under the alien onslaught. Each fractured transmission, each fleeting image of devastation, underscored the magnitude of the threat. In that moment, Commander Steele's resolve hardened. He recalled the sacrifices of comrades lost in previous conflicts, and a determined fire lit within him. This was a fight for survival, a battle that would test the very soul of humanity. Outside the fortified walls of the command center, the once familiar hum of city life had given way to pandemonium. The night was lit by explosions and streaks of brilliant deadly light. Sirens wailed incessantly, and the earth trembled under the relentless assault. In the chaos, the diversity of human emotion was palpable, from the terror of those huddled in shadowed alleyways to the defiant shouts of resistance echoing through ruined streets. As Orion Steele stepped forward to address his assembled officers, his voice carried the weight of centuries of hope and despair. "Today we face an enemy unlike any we have ever known," he declared, his tone both measured and commanding. "This is our moment to stand, to fight, and to show the galaxy that Earth will not be subdued without a fight." His words, imbued with personal conviction and a rallying call to arms, resonated deeply among his comrades. They knew that every second counted, and that their response in the coming moments would define the legacy of humanity. In that crucible of fear and defiance, as the alien armada loomed ever larger against a canvas of destruction, humanity's indomitable spirit began to stir. The battle lines were drawn, and with a final resolute gaze at the screens depicting the assault on their world, Commander Orion Steele prepared to lead his forces into the storm, a storm that promised to reshape the fate of Earth and echo across the cosmos. The planet shuddered as chaos unfurled across every horizon. In the heart of New Carthage, once a beacon of technological triumph, towering skyscrapers trembled violently under the relentless barrage of alien weaponry. Fiery explosions ripped open the night, scattering incandescent debris like deadly confetti over crumbling streets. The acrid tang of burning metal mingled with the cries of terrified citizens, as sirens and the groan of collapsing concrete filled the air in a cacophonous symphony of destruction. Deep beneath the ruins of a once proud metropolis, in a sprawling high-security command center, Commander Orion Steele and his team fought to grasp the full scale of the assault. Holographic screens flickered with live feeds, smoke rising over shattered cityscapes, emergency broadcasts urging citizens to seek shelter, and fragmented images of alien drones descending like predators. Every display underscored a singular grim truth. Earth was under siege. In a cluttered briefing room, the tension was palpable. Lieutenant Marisol Vega, her face etched with determination and fear, pointed at a series of rapidly fluctuating tactical maps. "Our defenses are being overwhelmed on every front," she reported, her voice steady despite the palpable dread. The room buzzed with urgent clipped exchanges, strategic proposals clashing with the bitter reality of dwindling resources and fading communication lines. Every second that ticked by meant another building reduced to smoldering ruins, another innocent life lost. Outside, the atmosphere was one of unrelenting pandemonium. In the shattered remnants of a downtown district, survivors huddled in the wreckage, their faces illuminated by the intermittent glow of fires and alien laser fire. Amid the chaos, desperate shouts for help mixed with the sound of crumbling concrete and the distant wail of sirens. The deafening roar of alien engines, like a storm from another world, echoed over devastated neighborhoods, a constant reminder that the invaders were everywhere, unyielding and merciless. Back in the command center, as data streamed in faster than it could be comprehended, Commander Steele's steely gaze swept over the array of crisis reports. He felt the weight of responsibility settle heavily on his shoulders, a burden shared by every soul fighting to protect their home. "We must consolidate our forces now," he declared with quiet authority, his voice resonating in the room like a rallying cry against despair. "Every city, every unit, every available resource must unite to repel this onslaught." In that fraught moment, the world's defenses, already battered by the initial shock, began a desperate scramble to respond. Military convoys mobilized at breakneck speed, air defenses were recalibrated, and even civilian militias formed in the wake of governmental paralysis. The collective pulse of humanity quickened as cities turned into fortresses of resistance. Every shattered window and every fallen tower became a monument to the battle for survival, echoing the indomitable spirit of a species determined to fight back against an enemy that sought to erase them from existence. As the alien Armada continued its brutal assault, Earth teetered on the brink of oblivion, a planet gripped by fear yet clinging to a fragile hope. Amid the devastation, Commander Steele's unwavering resolve shone as a beacon. Even as the enemy's fire rained down without mercy, his call for unity and resistance resonated deeply, forging a nascent alliance amid the ruins. The stage was set for a conflict that would decide not just the fate of a city, but the survival of the human race. Deep within a fortified underground operations center, a mosaic of determined faces gathered from every corner of Earth. Here, Commander Orion Steele stood at the forefront of a hastily assembled global coalition, a diverse alliance of military strategists, scientists, and even grassroots leaders who had risen in defiance of chaos. The room, a labyrinth of glowing holographic maps and pulsating data streams, throbbed with urgency. Every screen depicted live images of beleaguered cities and distant battlegrounds, reminding everyone present that time was slipping away. Steele's eyes, steeled by decades of hardship and sacrifice, swept over the assembly. "We must act as one," he declared, his voice cutting through the ambient hum of machines and whispered fears. "Our strength lies not in our individual might but in our unity. Today, we rally not just to defend our cities, but the very spirit of humanity." His words, firm and resolute, resonated like a beacon of hope in that pressure cooker chamber. Around him, representatives from every nation shared fragments of their own struggles. Lieutenant Marisol Vega, her determined gaze steady despite the chaos beyond, interjected with a technical briefing. "Our reconnaissance shows that the enemy's formations are adapting, reacting to our movements. We have a narrow window to exploit their new tactical patterns." Her tone, blending precision and urgency, was met by murmurs of agreement and the soft clatter of keyboards as engineers adjusted critical parameters in real time. Across a large digital map projected on the wall, zones of resistance began to crystallize. In a rapid-fire sequence of strategic planning, military officers detailed coordinated maneuvers. Satellite arrays would now serve as temporary communication relays. Autonomous drones were being programmed to intercept enemy vessels, and even civilian networks were repurposed to guide evacuation routes in critical areas. The air was thick with tension as plans were debated, refined, and sometimes thrown out with a heavy thud of frustration. Yet amid the technical minutiae, the human element remained unmistakably present. In a quiet corner, an aide recounted the harrowing story of a coastal town that had banded together, defying governmental collapse by setting up its own makeshift defense. His voice trembled slightly as he described how strangers had become comrades, each act of courage, no matter how small, igniting a spark of resilience that defied the overwhelming odds. These personal stories, shared in hushed tones between strategy sessions, wove a tapestry of hope that underpinned the entire assembly. As debates reached fevered pitches, Commander Steele took a moment to remind the team of their greater purpose. Every calculation we make, every resource we commit, is for the people out there fighting to survive, he said, gesturing towards a live feed showing distant neighborhoods illuminated by flickering fires and desperate, yet determined faces. We are not merely strategists or soldiers, we are the shield of humanity. And today, that shield will hold. The operations center itself felt like a living organism, a beating heart of humanity's collective will. Monitors displayed shifting battle lines and evolving enemy tactics, while maps marked progress in real time, each pixel a testament to the coordinated efforts of countless individuals. The glow of the holographic displays mixed with the sweat and determination on every face, creating an atmosphere of raw, palpable energy. In that crucible of crisis, old rivalries were set aside. National flags and insignias, once symbols of division, now stood side by side in a common quest for survival. The coalition, though still fraught with tension and differing perspectives, began to converge on a single, audacious plan to exploit the enemy's fleeting vulnerabilities, using an innovative combination of human ingenuity and cutting-edge technology. As the meeting drew to a close, a hushed but electric resolve filled the room. The countdown had begun, and every officer, every scientist, every volunteer understood that the next moments could determine not just the fate of a single city, but the destiny of Earth itself. Commander Steele's final words echoed in the stillness. Let our unity be the defiant roar that echoes across the stars. Today, we fight as one. With that rallying cry, the defense was set in motion, an orchestration of human will against an alien onslaught. In that shared moment of solidarity, the world found a reason to stand, to resist, and to hope. In the midst of relentless alien aggression, a spark of hope emerged from the depths of human ingenuity. Hidden away in a high-altitude military research facility, a converted aerospace complex nestled among snow-capped peaks, a team of brilliant scientists and engineers worked feverishly against time. The lab's expansive chamber pulsed with the eerie glow of holographic displays, where intricate models of enemy vessels and fluctuating energy fields danced in midair. Here, equations scrawled across transparent screens converged into a revelation, a critical vulnerability within the Zertal Armada's seemingly impenetrable shields. Dr. Elena Morales, a leading quantum physicist with eyes that burned with determination, stared intently at the streaming data. Her fingers, trembling yet precise, traced the outlines of a complex waveform on a digital canvas. "Look at this," she whispered, voice barely audible over the hum of machinery. "There's a consistent periodic dip in their energy matrix, an exploitable gap in their shield frequency. If we can synchronize a pulse to hit at just the right moment." Her words trailed off into a charged silence, laden with both scientific excitement and the desperate hope of a world on the brink. Across the room, Lieutenant Akio Tanaka, the facility's tactical coordinator, interjected with a mix of urgency and cautious optimism. "Commander Steele, we believe this phenomenon could allow us to disable entire segments of their defense grid. It's a long shot, but if we integrate this quantum pulse into our orbital laser array, we might just turn the tide." His tone was measured, yet the intensity in his eyes spoke of a man who had seen the worst of the enemy's might and was now ready to gamble everything on this breakthrough. The lab's atmosphere shifted palpably as team members converged on a central holographic table, where a dynamic 3D model of the enemy flagship rotated slowly against a backdrop of streaming data. Detailed schematics of the Zertal's shield design were laid out in luminous vectors, and every calculation resonated with the gravity of their situation. Engineers, clad in worn uniforms and sporting eyes marked by countless sleepless nights, began reprogramming defense satellites and recalibrating sensor arrays to align with the precise pulse timings dictated by Dr. Morales' findings. Outside the secure facility, the chaos of battle raged on. Explosions painted the night sky with violent bursts of color, as alien warships maneuvered with ruthless precision. Yet within the lab's insulated cocoon, a collective focus reigned. Commander Orion Steele, arriving at the facility via a secure rapid transit shuttle, observed the team with a mixture of pride and urgency. His presence galvanized the room further. "This is our chance," he declared, voice steady but imbued with a fierceness born of countless sacrifices. "We've been tested to the limits, and now we have a glimmer of hope. Let's synchronize our efforts. Every second counts." In a flurry of coordinated activity, computer models were adjusted, energy pulses simulated, and live feeds from orbiting defense platforms confirmed the alignment. The breakthrough was not just a scientific anomaly. It was a lifeline, a potential turning point in the face of overwhelming odds. The team worked with an intensity that blurred the passage of time, their coordinated efforts echoing like a well-orchestrated symphony against the backdrop of impending doom. As dusk fell over the snow-capped peaks, the facility's main chamber hummed with a renewed sense of purpose. Dr. Morales and Lieutenant Tanaka, now side by side, reviewed the final simulations. The results were clear. If their synchronized quantum pulse could be delivered precisely when the enemy's shield dipped, even for a fleeting moment, it would create a window for a concentrated orbital laser barrage to strike through the gap. Every formula, every recalculated variable, confirmed the possibility, a chance to disrupt the invaders' formation and buy humanity precious time. Commander Steele's eyes met those of his team as he prepared to relay the plan to the broader defense network. The breakthrough was more than a technical victory. It was a testament to human resilience and creativity in the face of cosmic adversity. In that moment, amid the quiet hum of high-tech machinery and the palpable tension of impending action, hope was reborn, a defiant, brilliant spark that promised to shatter the alien onslaught and inspire the galaxy with humanity's unyielding will to fight. The dawn of rebellion broke over a battered Earth, as humanity's united forces surged forth with a fury born of desperation and hope. In the vast expanse of space, against the canvas of a bruised, swirling nebula, Earth's newly synchronized orbital laser arrays fired with pinpoint precision. The breakthrough quantum pulse, meticulously engineered in the high-altitude labs, had been deployed at the exact moment when the Zertal shields wavered. A searing beam of concentrated energy slashed through the alien defense, sending ripples of chaos through the invaders' formation. Commander Orion Steele, his jaw set with unyielding determination, stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Resolute, as the tides of battle turned. Outside, the void was alight with the incandescent glow of battle, a ballet of exploding starships, trailing plasma, and desperate maneuvers. The once impregnable Armada, led by the merciless Supreme Commander Osalar, now faltered as segments of their fleet were disabled in rapid succession. On the command deck, the air vibrated with urgency. "Status report," Steele barked, his voice rising over the cacophony of alarms and the roar of the void. Lieutenant Marisol Vega, her eyes fixed on the holographic display, responded, "Sir, our coordinated strike has disrupted their energy grid. Multiple vessels are falling out of formation." Her tone, laced with both relief and a fierce resolve, was met by rapid affirmations from across the fleet. Every soldier, pilot, and technician felt the electric thrill of defiance as humanity's counteroffensive began to reshape the battle. Meanwhile, in a daring maneuver that would become legend, Commander Steele led a specialized strike team aboard a nimble assault cruiser toward the heart of the enemy formation. Navigating through fields of debris and evading concentrated enemy fire, the vessel pierced the outer defenses of the alien flagship. In the cramped, tension-charged corridors of the cruiser, every crew member worked with precision. The hum of the engines and the pulse of the onboard reactors synchronized with the beating of their hearts, a constant reminder of the stakes at hand. At the apex of the chaos, the assault cruiser docked with the alien vessel. Steele, flanked by his most trusted officers, strode into the enemy's command chamber, a stark, metallic arena lit by the cold glow of alien technology. There, amid flickering control panels and holographic battle maps, stood Supreme Commander Azalar. The alien's presence was both terrifying and regal, an imposing figure draped in armor that shimmered with otherworldly energy, eyes that burned with calculated malice. For a long, suspended moment, time seemed to contract. The two commanders, one a battle-hardened symbol of human resilience, the other the embodiment of ruthless conquest, locked eyes. The silence was deafening, broken only by the distant echo of distant explosions and the relentless thrum of the ongoing cosmic warfare. "Your defiance is admirable, Earthling," Azalar intoned, his voice resonant and unnervingly calm. "But you dare challenge the inevitable." Steele's reply was a low, resolute rumble that conveyed every sacrifice, every moment of human courage. "We are not merely a collection of nations, Azalar. We are humanity united, resilient, and unyielding. Today you will learn that our spirit is stronger than any force you can muster." His words, a blend of personal defiance and collective hope, reverberated off the cold walls of the chamber, echoing the resolve of billions watching from across a beleaguered world. Back in orbit, the counteroffensive reached a fever pitch. Orbital lasers, now synchronized with the quantum pulse, unleashed a dazzling torrent of energy that cascaded over the enemy fleet. The alien ships, once a seamless armada, fractured into a chaotic array of flaming debris. The shock waves of the assault rippled through the void, sending a resounding message to the galaxy. Earth would not be conquered without a fight. As explosions lit the darkness like violent supernovas, every human outpost, from ground bases to deep space stations, joined in the symphony of resistance. The relentless roar of battle, the spark of innovative technology, and the raw determination of humanity merged into one defiant counterstrike. Commander Steele, his face illuminated by the glow of shattered enemy vessels and the radiant pulses of victory, knew that this battle would be remembered as a turning point, a moment when Earth, against all odds, shocked the galaxy with its indomitable will. The assault, orchestrated with both precision and passion, shattered the alien armada's momentum. In that climactic crescendo of resistance, humanity not only repelled the invaders, but also carved a new legacy into the stars, a legacy of unity, ingenuity, and an unbreakable spirit. In the quiet aftermath of the colossal battle, Earth began its slow, painful rebirth. The alien armada, once a menacing specter that had darkened the heavens, had been forced into retreat. Across the shattered skylines of once great cities, the first tentative rays of dawn broke through lingering plumes of smoke and dust. In the stillness that followed the storm, every ruined building and scarred landscape whispered of loss, yet also of an indomitable will to rise again. Commander Orion Steele stood on the precipice of a crumbled metropolis, his gaze sweeping over the remnants of chaos. The acrid smell of burnt debris mixed with the fresh scent of morning dew, a stark reminder that even in ruin nature persisted. Groups of survivors, their faces etched with both grief and determination, began clearing debris from the streets. Makeshift memorials were erected beside shattered monuments, honoring those lost while serving as symbols of hope. In this fragile moment, Earth was more than a battlefield. It was a canvas upon which humanity would paint its resurgence. Back in the newly reactivated Global Command Center, leaders and strategists huddled around holographic displays that now charted a different course, one of rebuilding and cautious optimism. The rapid-fire exchanges of earlier days had softened into deliberate reflective discussions on recovery. Scientists, engineers, and military personnel pooled their expertise to restore damaged infrastructure and fortify defenses, ensuring that the lessons learned would protect the fragile unity of the human race. There was a palpable sense of transformation, a new chapter where every sacrifice would fuel the promise of tomorrow. As dusk fell, the world tuned in to a final broadcast from Commander Steele. Standing amidst the quiet hum of a re-energized command room, his voice, steady and resolute, reached billions across a recovering planet. Today we have shown the galaxy that Earth is not defined by our scars but by our resilience. Our counteroffensive was not merely a battle won, it is a testament to our unity, our ingenuity, and our unwavering spirit. Let our legacy be one of defiance in the face of insurmountable odds, and a beacon of hope for every world that dreams of freedom. His words carried the weight of loss, the pride of victory, and the tender promise of renewal. In the months that followed, as reconstruction efforts spread across every continent, a new international council was formed, a body committed to forging a lasting peace and ensuring that humanity's defense would be as strong as its spirit. Interstellar observers, once confident in the invaders' might, now watched in astonishment as Earth emerged not as a defeated planet, but as a symbol of collective strength. Across the galaxy, whispers of this remarkable resilience spread, reshaping cosmic perceptions and opening doors to tentative alliances and diplomatic overtures. Amid the rebuilding, communities found solace in art, music, and shared traditions, a mosaic of cultures united by the trials they had endured. Children, unaware of the full horror of the invasion, played amid gardens sprouting from crumbled concrete, embodying the rebirth of a world that refused to surrender. And in every corner of this battered yet hopeful planet, the legacy of that fateful day was etched not in despair, but in the resolute courage to stand together, rebuild, and shine as a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity.